So I'm just on my way to a fishing spot that I fished quite a lot over the years, and that is in Hastings, Old Stamco as it's been named. It's not actually the official name, but that's what's known locally to people. And I'm going to go on a 1.68 metre low tide. It should be low enough to me to see some of the lower structures that are there. Today the temperature's gone up a little bit to 6 degrees according to my car. It's still pretty chilly out there, but as far as the sun and the weather in general, it's a really nice day to go out, just to be out. We're here at Saturday the 11th of January 2025, and we're down at this location called Old Stamco, and I'm down here purely for future sessions down here because I wanted to see what it actually is going to be like when I come back down here, maybe in a few days time, to get this. You can certainly see where it's more shallow down here. Walking along the arm here, this is a divide where a lot of anglers would fish off this and over to the left hand side where I'm pointing right now. This is typically the area that people would be fishing off. Certainly in the high tide this rock foundation would be covered, but it doesn't look as though it's particularly snaggy or anything like that. We shall put the drone up all over this area. We're now going to the right hand side of that groin, and typically this would be a fishing spot right here. Again, it's pretty clean all the way down through here. This is the outlet pipe that's just to the right of this. Very strong outlet. Also, as you can see there, you wouldn't be able to get very far out on a low tide as you would further on without waders, certainly. The areas that you see highlighted in red are areas that are somewhat snaggy. You're likely to lose your rigs in there, so you would definitely need to change the type of rig that you would use for this. The blue areas are known spots that are good for fishing and areas that I fish myself. These are what I often refer to in previous videos as the first lot of grey rocks. You can see here that before the first lot of grey rocks there's a lot of flooding, and also this is the area where there can be some snagging involved. But it also may be a good area for maybe getting some bass or codling. But you see, when you get to the first lot of grey rocks and then you move towards the second, then you've got this nice clear bit in between there, and you've got a little gully just to the right side. can clearly see that before we get to the first lot of grey rocks, that this little area here could be a nice spot to fish. So just flying over there, you can see that it's flooding. It's quite deep, but it's also quite snaggy. And then turning around again, you can see here the first lot of grey rocks in front of us, and where there's a clear patch of ground to fish on. So outlined here is the first lot of grey rocks, the second and the third. I've caught some good bass right in the middle of the first lot of rocks, between the first and second. You can see here there's an angler there that's just off to the right of the second lot of rocks. So you can see right in front of the second lot of rocks there is a nice little gully there. It's flooding in, and it's obviously a good spot to get some fish. As you can see, as we move around here, you can see the position between the first lot of grey rocks and the second is where I would normally fish, and this is where I've actually caught my best ever bass of 5 pounds, right between these two. One more pass going through and just passing the third lot of rocks, and then heading towards the second. You can see the angler there is just on the right side of the second lot of rocks. It's an area that I should definitely investigate more. And then of course we've got between the first and the second now heading towards the first lot of rocks. And that's kind of where I would catch most of my fish. Going beyond this point is an area that I'm going to be quite selective, because we can certainly get some snags down through here, especially if we go more to the right of the flow of water. And taking another look just a short while afterwards, you can see how it looks from a little bit further above, 120 meters. Certainly a lovely view to look at.